From the Tennessee Valley Weather Center, this is your weather tonight.
We still have our excessive heat warning in place across northwest Alabama, portions of southern middle Tennessee and northeast Mississippi for our Friday, with the exception of Murray, Marshall, and Giles counties in Tennessee under a heat advisory where heat index values closer to the 105 range versus the 110 range. We have gotten the heat advisory issued across North Alabama for Saturday now because heat index values still near 105 there as well for Saturday before the heat backs off beginning Sunday. That will likely happen over southern middle Tennessee as well, but we do have relief on the way. We just have a couple more days to go through. Mostly clear skies as we go through the overnight hours here, dropping out of the 80s into the 70s. And making the mid-70s or so for morning lows around daybreak with mostly clear skies. That sunshine allows us to warm quickly once again up into the 90s by midday and the afternoon. Futurecast keeping us clear for the most part overnight. A few clouds here and there, but nothing to write home about. Starting the morning in the mid-70s. I think Futurecast a couple degrees warm here, but I can't rule out a few locations. Only starting in the upper 70s to begin our Friday. A few clouds around from time to time, getting well up into the mid to upper 90s during the afternoon. Can't completely rule out a stray shower or a thunderstorm, but the chance of rain for Friday afternoon and evening, only about 10%. The vast majority of us will stay dry out there, dropping back out of the 90s into the 80s Friday evening, and then into the 70s overnight. So high school football games looking a bit warm, but the weather overall, aside from being on the warm side, not too bad out there. Mostly clear skies. First quarter is 7 o'clock. Some of the games have been pushed back to 7:30 to 7:45, though. Upper 80s to near 90, dropping into the lower 80s as we get closer to the fourth quarter, and then into the mid to upper 70s during the overnight hours of Friday night. More the same on Saturday with hot temperatures, partly cloudy skies, but we do have the chance of a few isolated scattered showers and thunderstorms on Saturday afternoon and Saturday night. And then that chance of isolated scattered thunderstorms increases just a little bit Sunday into Monday as this frontal boundary gets into the area. And this is the front that really brings our relief to the area with temperatures back into the mid to upper 80s as we head into next week. So hot the next couple days, well up into the 90s for our Friday and Saturday. Heat index values still near or over 105, but as we get into the latter part of the weekend and early next week, we get back to the mid to upper 80s for daytime highs. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, heat index values come down as well, and we might be into the lower 80s toward the middle of next week as drier air gets reinforced. Rain chances coming up just a touch as we head into the weekend and the early next week as that front moves into the area. But as of how it looks right now, no widespread rain, but rain chances increasing just a little bit, and we'll take any rain that we can get at this point to bring some heat relief to the Tennessee Valley. We're watching the tropics. Things are still a little active. We have Tropical Storm Franklin on the board that's been intensifying today. Here's the latest advisory. As of the afternoon, we'll get another advisory at the top of the hour at 10 p.m. local time tonight. But as of 4 p.m., maximum sustained winds were at 60 miles per hour, moving east-northeast at 8, but it will take more of a northerly turn this weekend. Also forecast to become a hurricane, possibly a significant hurricane as it moves just to the west of Bermuda, but no direct hit or impact on the United States, just some higher surf and maybe some minor coastal flooding on the east coast and the northeast coast of the United States, but no direct hit to the United States from this system. It looks to be what we call a fish storm, where it stays out into the open Atlantic and recurves. The Canadian Maritimes may have to watch for possibly a more direct impact going to the middle of next week, but it will be weakening as it gets absorbed into the jet stream that far north. What we're watching more closely for the potential for a U.S. impact is this system that's coming off of Central America that will be near the Yucatan Peninsula over the weekend. National Hurricane Center giving this a high risk now of developing into a tropical depression or stronger, possibly tropical storm or something late in the weekend into early next week as it moves northward through the northwest Caribbean into the eastern Gulf of Mexico. So we may be getting Tropical Storm Idalia out of this by early next week. We'll have to watch it very carefully. A lot of unknowns about intensity, still some unknowns about exact forecast track because it's still so far out, but early indications are this would mainly be a situation for either the Big Bend to Florida or the peninsula of Florida, not expecting a direct impact on the Tennessee Valley or our portion of the northern Gulf Coast. But as always, we'll watch it because it's still several days out, and there can always be forecast changes. A couple more disturbances we're watching out in the open Atlantic, including the ghost of what was once Tropical Storm Emily. These have a medium chance of development, but even if they do develop, they're recurving out into the open Atlantic. No threat to the United States. Coming back home here with the forecast is you get your first cup of coffee in the morning on the way out the door. Low to mid 70s to start the day. Maybe a few folks in North Alabama closer to the mid to upper 70s. Mostly sunny skies to begin our Friday. And then we'll once again way up into the mid 90s, or maybe a couple degrees warmer here and there into the afternoon, mostly sunny. And you don't see it explicitly here, but there's the slightest chance of a shower or a thunderstorm in the afternoon and early evening. But since that's only 10%, we don't officially put that on the 7-day. The chance of isolated showers and thunderstorms does increase for the weekend into early next week, especially Sunday and Monday. No widespread rain is how it looks right now, but rain chances increasing a little. Notice temperatures going down as well as we head through the early and especially the middle part of next week, back into the lower 80s maybe by Wednesday and next Thursday. There's a look at your latest 7-day forecast. Kelly Rawson's taking off for her Friday to spend time with a little family time. So I'll be back in tomorrow morning with another update to your local weather.